Hello and welcome to the Rebooted Reviews. Today I will be going over set number 70790, the Lord of Skull Spiders, or as the fans call him, LoSS. This set contains 145 pieces, and in the United States retails for about $14.99. So let's get started. Let's start off with the color scheme. Now, LoSS is an extremely consistent color scheme consisting of black and translucent neon reddish orange. Man, that's a mouthful. And he pulls it off pretty well, and there's some white accents which look pretty good. On the bottom here, he does have a few color scheme breakers, such as the yellow gears, which are visible on the top as well. Several blue pins up here, right there, and here. I had to find all of them. Oh, and then there's a partially hidden one back here. Oh, there's two. There's two back here that become unhidden when you use the function, but we'll get to that later. Two right in here. Well, three right in here. And, okay, I think now that's it. But, anyway, a fairly consistent color scheme. A lot of the breakers are on his underbelly and are not visible from most angles. He also has a few red pins, but considering how he's built and his colors, they're mostly obscured and you can't really see them too well. Now, as far as build goes, LoSS has probably the most complex build of the first wave. It's a nice nod to the complex 2001 Rahi with a rubber band and gears and an action feature, which again we will get to later. It's a very solid build. I'm really quite impressed how solid this thing is. I mean, they could have just gone with just a huge block piece that you could stick gears in, like a different kind of gearbox that you could use for creatures, but they actually built it out, which is nice. Now, speaking of LoSS's build, LoSS has 6 legs, which each feature 1 point of articulation. That's pretty much it. And his face has 3. His teeth have separate points of articulation. You can move them together to make him roar. You can do all sorts of stuff, although not really roar because he's not a T-Rex. He's kind of like a Spidey spider. Oh well. He also can move his main head assembly right here, so you can just kind of look up. It's kind of blocked by these 2 armor plates right here. He can move up a bit. He can go to the side. Oh, let me move this. He can go to the side quite a bit. Can't really look down, but at this level, I'm not really sure why you would need to. But, you know, at least it's something. And then these 2 armor plates are also on ball joints, so you can move those. These 2 right here. You can also cheat a bit and move these legs up a bit, like that. But that's technically not a point of articulation. There are a few exposed ball joints. There is one right in there. That's pretty obvious. There is 2 right here on either side. It's mostly obscured because this is just a protector XT4 torso in here that's attached to the main body, covered by a chest plate. There's also this ball joint right here, but that's mainly to act as a stopper for this without having strangely obnoxious gray bushing. And plus, it's kind of nice to just get an extra ball joint. You can never have too many ball joints in your parts bin. I, at the moment, have only 3. I'm using them on MOCists and such at the moment. Speaking of gray, there are a few gray pieces which you could see as breaking up the color scheme on his legs, again, mostly obscured by the armor plates. In fact, that's how the armor plates attach. There's some here, and then there's some light gray here, but, you know, it's not too bad. Also, there's this random gray half pin with a stud on the other side. I'm not really sure why that's there. Maybe it's just to fill space. I honestly have no clue. Maybe you guys can think of something. But, yeah, that's pretty much it for the build. So, let's look at his new pieces and recolors. So first up, starting with the recolors, is 8 of these translucent neon reddish orange technical lift arms. These are probably new, but if they were featured before, I'm not aware of it. Now there's also an exclusive printed piece, which is LoSS's face. This piece has come in this color before, but it's the print that's exclusive. And for new molds, we have these pieces. I'm not sure if they were featured before, but it has an axle and then a full pin on this side. So these are very, very useful for mocking. I'm pretty sure these are new for early 2015. It's the reverse of the gray piece from earlier. Instead, it has a pin on this end and an axle on the other end. Then, of course, there's the golden mask of skull spiders, which of course is in gold, and it's basically a skull spider body in gold. That's about it. Let's get on with the review. Let's move on to the functions. LoSS doesn't have as many functions as the other sets, but the ones that he has are decent. The first of which is the main action feature, which is there's this lever on the back. If you hold it like this and you push this, the legs clamp in like that. See? And you can use this for grabbing enemies. The comic on the back of the box featured Narmoto, the Protector of Fire, so I'm going to use him. So, say Narmoto here wants that golden mask of skull spiders, and he has it. I'm just going to stick it up here. Well, LoSS can just come on over and just try to pick him up, I guess. Hold on. There we go. Just grab him and crush him. I'm pretty sure the website had a specific name for this attack, but I don't remember it, and I knocked off his mask. At least it didn't go off the edge of the desk. It's a nice function, nice nod to 2001 Rahi, but the issue is the scale. Now you notice Narmoto's kind of large compared to the LoSS, and if you noticed in the animations, the LoSS is pretty huge. Now, just for an example of scale, Tahu's swords are supposed to be the size of LoSS's talons. You can see that's clearly not the case, and you can see this scale difference when Tahu is using his swords against LoSS in the 9th episode of the animation. Just look at that. The sword is almost as long as LoSS. I mean, come on. It's quite unfortunate. You can't really have a battle with your Toa and LoSS. Yeah, your Protector and LoSS will have to suffice. And unfortunately for LoSS, that's actually about it for functions. It's kind of a shame, because all the other sets have a bunch. There's the mask launching, there's the Gatling gun, the combo models, dual weapon functionality, the gearboxes. It's kind of unfortunate. LoSS's kind of got the short end of the stick, but, you know, he's an okay set. I personally kind of like LoSS. Sometimes, oh, my voice cracked. Sometimes it's kind of fun to just go like this. I like it. Now, while this function could be stronger, for instance, LoSS, when I put him down, you can see he kind of sinks. What do you guys think? How do you have your LoSS pose? Do you have the legs like this? Do you have him flat? Do you have him sitting on his belly? Tune in next week when I go over Skull Warrior. Thank you for watching. Comment, subscribe, like or dislike. Constructive criticism in the comments, always welcome, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.